All right, good morning, FFA. Hey, let's kick off this Wednesday sales training. Hope you guys liked the intro video to today's call because that was last year's incentive trip. But I posted that, guys, for all of you Cancun winners who are getting ready to take off and meet us in Cancun coming up here next month. So it's crazy to think about. It's just over a month away for our incentive trip to reward everybody who went big last year. This year's Scotland. So about halfway through the year so far, guys, see where you're on track to hit Scotland. So many of you are there to lock it down. And if you're brand new here, you've got plenty of time to hit that qualification. So couldn't be more excited for what's to come here in the next few weeks as we head out to Cancun to reward you guys. But jumping on to today's call, we're going to talk about how do you build a sales team. All right. So if you guys remember a few calls ago, we talked about the stages of an agent, right? Going from a new agent to an experienced agent to a top producer, right? We talked about all of that. Let's talk about how do you actually go from agent to agency owner. All right. That's what I'm going to give you guys. I'm going to give you guys a roadmap on today's call to be able to build, all right, the team that you've always wanted to be able to step up into that leadership position. So I want to hear from you guys in the WhatsApp chat. Are you ready to take your business and turn it into an actual business, right? Because right now, if you're just an individual agent, all right, out there working the leads, selling the leads, right, you can make a phenomenal career, phenomenal income, but all of your effort is dependent upon you. What happens if you get sick, right? What happens if you, whatever the case is, if you want to turn this industry, this career into everything that it's made out to be, you really have to start developing a sales team. Okay. You can't do anything big by yourself, right? You can only do so much by yourself. So we're going to jump into how do you turn this, turn your agency, right, into a one-person show, into a multiple people show, into a big vision, right, into a big movement. All right. Think about it, guys. There's so much opportunity for you as a business owner, but we've got to get out of the self-employed hat, right, and get into the I'm actually a CEO of my agency hat and figure out how to run this thing the right way. So that's what we're going to talk about, how to build a sales team. But before we do that, verse of the day, all right, I posted it in the announcements in WhatsApp, but it is, let me go back here to find it. It says that, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Think about that verse, Jeremiah 29:11 is by far one of my favorite verses. Whenever you're going through a tough time, right, you got to look at that and realize everything that's going on right now in your life is going to be for a reason. You might not see it, right? And if you're going through something tough, a lot of times God puts you through tough things so that you can have the strength, right, to tackle tougher things in the future, or so that you can overcome those things to be able to help somebody else down the road that goes through the very same thing. So you guys should embrace challenges, embrace hardship, embrace the toughness of this world, because it molds you into somebody, right? And if you think about that verse, plans to prosper you, to give you hope in a future, that's what he's working on your behalf behind the scenes. Even if you can't always see it, that's his promise to you, right? There's a few promises in that book, and that was one of them, plans to give you hope and a future, prosperity, right? So take that verse and run with it today. But guys, let's talk about building a team, okay? So number one, why should you build a team? I want you guys to ask yourself that question. Maybe you're just comfortable right now. Maybe you've been doing this for a while. All right, you're experienced. You know you can go out there and make a lot of money, provide for your family just by yourself. Why would you want to worry about other people? Why would you want to train other people? Why would you want to do that, right? Ask yourself that question. Guys, if you want to take your business to a new height, a height that you never really thought was possible, you have to do it with other people, right, guys? What makes FFA so amazing, such an amazing company, what has given us the success that we have had over the first couple of years is you, right? It's all of you that are tuned into this call, watching it. It's all of you that are in the agency. It's the team effort, right? Without the team, there is no FFA. Without the team, there's no company. And the same is true for your agency, guys. So I want you to think about what's your long-term goal. All right. Now I'm not talking about a year from now. I'm talking about what's your 5-year goal, your 10-year goal, your 15-year goal for your agency, for your career, for your progression. What is that, right? So how to recruit a team? How do you build, train, and duplicate? Seems complicated, guys, but it's very, very easy. The first step is, what do you want your team to be about, right? What you define as far as your culture, your vision, right, is what's going to attract people to work with you in this industry. All right. So what is your culture? What's your mission? What is ours here at FFA, right? We want to glorify God, right, in everything that we do, be a company of faith. But then we also want to be able to help people reach that financial freedom, right? That journey to get out of the 9 to 5, to get out of the stresses financially, to get out of debt, right? We want to create financial freedom for people. So that's our mission. That's our culture. That's what we shape, how we train, how we coach. That's what we shape, what we're all about. It's probably what attracted you to actually work here, right? But even inside of FFA, inside your team, what do you want your team to be about? I want you guys to think about that. You have to define it before you try to start recruiting people and bringing them in. Is what kind of culture do you want to have for your team? What is that? What should that look like? Right now, maybe you're sitting here thinking, I'm not a leader. I've never led people before. Maybe I'm a brand new agent. Guys, you have something inside of you that can benefit and help other people, right? God created you for a reason. You have a strength that other people can relate to. You have a story that other people can relate to. So even if you don't feel equipped to lead a team right yet, or maybe qualified, I promise you, you can make a difference in somebody else's life, which leads me to that second point is, why should someone want to join your team? Right, guys? These are the questions that you have to ask yourself before you try to build a team in the first place. All right. It's the foundation for what's going to set your agency up. So why should somebody join you? All right. If I'm a potential new agent working on getting my license, right? Why should I work with you? That would be the question. What would you tell me if I asked you that question, right? Why should I pick you? Why should I work with you? What makes your team different? Right, guys? Insurance is a big industry. All right. It's just like real estate. There's companies all across. Everyone's doing the same thing, right? You're buying leads. You're either selling them on the phone, knocking on their door. It's the same. All right. No matter where you're at, it's the same concept. People will pick to work with you because of you. What makes you different? What can you provide them? Right. And a lot of times, guys, you need to look at your own story. Think about what got you into the industry, what got you to the point that you're at, and then look back and think about all the other people that are in the same spot you were at that stage, how you could change their life. Maybe you joined this industry, this company, because you had no time with your family. You worked 2 jobs, right? You just, whatever the case was. And now you're doing this and you actually get to be home at dinner. You get to go to your kids' sporting events, right? You get to, whatever the case is, right? Think about your story. What makes you different? All right. Mission matters, but culture wins. What does that mean? Your team will be attracted to you. People will be attracted to working with you based off of the vibe they get from you and from your team. So that would be my question, guys. These are the 3 questions you got to ask yourself if you're ready to start building a team. What's your team going to be about? Why would somebody want to join you? And what makes your team different? If you can answer those 3 questions, you can build a very, very big team. All right. Most agents stop at this point because they don't take the time to just list these 3 things out. All right. Let's jump over to the next slide. Okay. Define the ideal candidate. Okay. Who are you looking for? All right. I know you might be nervous. All right. Trying to build a team because maybe you're a brand new agent, right? Maybe you just got started. Maybe you don't even know what you're doing yet. You're like, how do I recruit? How do I build a team? Guys, there's 2 aspects to this business: your individual production and your team production. And the insurance carriers, right, our amazing partners we work with, are going to pay you for both aspects, building and recruiting and your individual production. And if you're only doing one and not the other, you're missing out on half the income potential in this business. So whether you're experienced or brand new, it doesn't matter. You have to come into this industry, come into this career with the idea of, hey, I'm going to turn this into a team effort. I'm going to turn this into a business. That way, guys, you're soaking up everything that this career can offer you. Okay. But maybe you're not a recruiter, right? I was not a recruiter. I had never recruited anybody in what I did before, right? I was a Marine. I was not a Marine recruiter, right? Marine infantry, general contractor building houses. I never had to recruit anybody. So this is all stuff I had to learn how to do. So how do you do that? Maybe this is your first attempt at building a sales team. Okay. Define who you're looking for. Guys, you're not looking to hire everybody and anybody. There's a specific type of person that you want to go after, right? That you want to find. What kind of person is that? All right. Number 1, self-motivated. Guys, if they have to be told to do stuff, if they have to be motivated, you don't want them on your team. Okay. If I have to motivate you to show up for yourself, this is not the business for you, right? You need to be in a W-2 where you clock in, clock out, get told what to do, get paid for 8 hours of work, go home and do it over again. This is not the business for somebody that struggles getting out of their bed in the morning, right? This is the business for somebody who's hungry. All right. So you're looking for someone who's self-motivated. Okay. You're looking for somebody who's coachable. Now let's talk about that word, coachable. Guys, if you talk to somebody and they tell you how great they are at what they do, they're probably not going to be any good at this because they're not going to be coachable, right? Coachable means I'm going to take what you tell me. I'm going to ignore my own thoughts about it. And I'm going to go out and just do the system that you tell me to do and get the result. And then I'm going to fine tune it right in my own way afterwards. Once I'm good at this. Coachable is a characteristic that if they don't have it, they will not last in this industry. All right. So if you're talking to a potential candidate and you're like, hey, this is how you say this, this is how you say that, and then they come back with every reason why that doesn't work, they're not going to do good. All right. They've got to be coachable. Okay. One of the characteristic that I always pick out if I'm talking to somebody is how they respond to like constructive criticism, right? If I'm talking to somebody and I say, we're doing an interview and they're talking to me about what they do for work now, and it's all negative, like their boss doesn't do this, the management doesn't do that. Maybe they're a licensed agent already, their past upline was bad, whatever it is. All red flags, right? They're not coachable. So don't even waste your time. So self-motivated and coachable. Guys, somebody's going to come into this industry to work with you because they see your success. They see your lifestyle and they don't have that and they want it. So the way they're going to get it is by you coaching them. Okay. So that's what you're looking for. Resilient. Guys, you got to have some tough skin to be in sales, right? If you get all up in your feels after 2 hours of being told no, this is not the business for you. And I will tell people when I'm talking to them about doing this job, I will tell them that, right? I want them to be, like high alert. You're going to come into this and you might not make any money one day, right? Like you might get skunked, big old zero. And if that makes you stay in bed the next day and get depressed, like this ain't the business for you, right? You've got to be resilient. All right. And this is my favorite characteristic when I'm looking for somebody that I think would be a good agent. They're hungry. That's the number one. I don't care what they're doing right now. I don't care if they have a college degree. I don't care if they've been in sales for 20 years. I literally don't care if they're flipping burgers at McDonald's. If I'm talking to them and they're hungry, they want more for their life. That is the person I'm looking for. I can coach them and train them how to sell. That's easy. I can't coach somebody to be hungry, coachable, and motivated. They got to have that. So those are the 3 things, guys, that you're looking for. If the ideal candidate is somebody that when you're out in public, all right, let's say you go to a restaurant and the restaurant's packed. There's one waiter and you watch that waiter just run to every table, right? Like she's back, forth, she's running over here, she's running over there, she's on time. You could tell she's probably a little stressed out, probably not getting paid for the hard work she's putting in, but she's hustling. That's an ideal candidate, right? So hunger for growth. Guys, you want to find the agent, the potentially new agent who has the biggest why, who has the biggest reason why they need this job, why they need the opportunity to write their own paycheck every single day. Hunger for growth is the number one characteristic that is going to define if an agent is good or bad. If they're not hungry, they will not work. All right. It's just the way it is, guys. Think about it. If you're not hungry, if you're at home and you just ate dinner, chances are you're not going back and cooking more food, right? Because you're full. You're going to sit on the couch. It's the same way when you're looking at hiring agents. Find the one that's hungry, that's not been fed yet. Find the one that knows their worth, right? They know they're worth more than $20 an hour, that where they're getting paid right now. That's the one you're looking for. So that's the ideal candidate. And guys, these people are everywhere. You just have to open up your eyes and see it. All right. They're at the grocery store stocking the shelves at 9 o'clock at night when you're grocery shopping. They're at Lowe's Hardware stocking the shelves, right? They're at the car dealership working until 9 o'clock at night trying to sell you a car. They're in the mall trying to sell you a cell phone, hustling, right? They're the pest control dude that rolls up to your house to try to sell you a pest control plan. They're everywhere. They're teaching, all right? They're teaching 9 to 5 and trying to make extra money on the side. They're doing side hustles, right? Different things. These people are everywhere. And if you want to build a good team, you have to find them. It's just like selling the insurance, guys. You got to keep your eyes open and actually look for them. All right. So that's the candidate. All right. Let's talk about where to find it. That all sounds great, right? But where do we actually find these people? And how do we connect with them? What should we do every single week to guarantee that our team is growing? Believe it or not, guys, you can guarantee your growth based off the activity that you put into recruiting. And if you're trying to build a sales team, maybe you've took a swing at it and it's not worked. Maybe, a lot of you guys have so much team momentum here at the agency. You're hitting new records every single week. If you see a builder here at FFA that's doing that, it's because every single week they're putting in the activity to find the agents, right? A big shout out to Corey. Corey just started. He's got a bunch of people already licensed and pre-licensing. Big shout out to Kelly. I think Kelly's put I don't even know how many people, a ton of people in pre-licensing, like in the past 2 weeks, back the same thing. So many of you, same thing, right? Well, how are they doing that? Guys, their focus and the activity is there. So let's talk about how to do it. Number one, social media. Guys, social media is probably the number one way to recruit in today's world. All right. Like the number one way. It's so easy, right? It's free and it's easy. So you just post. All right. How do you find top talent? Guys, you reach out to them, right? Think about it. If nobody ever reached out to you, or if you didn't see somebody doing this industry and you reach out to them on social media, how did it happen? How'd you even get here? Think back to how you got in this industry. Did someone reach out to you? Did you see a post? Did you see an ad? How did you do it? And guys, if you do that, you're also going to get recruits the same way as you found this industry. So social media is big. Let's talk about social media a little bit. How do you want to actually do that? Guys, it's real. Don't overcomplicate it. Just reach out to people. Pick, so many of us have like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 friends. Send 10 DMs a day. Heck, if you want to really grow, send 10 DMs an hour. Hey, what are you doing for work right now? Is it happy? I've got a great opportunity. Would love to talk to you about it. Yeah, you might get told no 90% of the time, but maybe the one person that tells you yes is your top agent, your top team builder, and is the person that takes your team from doing 500K a year to $1 million. You never know. Okay. So reach out to people. Number one, post. Guys, recognition is the number one recruitment tool out there. So share that. All right. Share about how your week's going. Share about what you did last month. Share the company leaderboard, to just whatever it can be, right? Like 1 or 2 work-related recognition posts a week is big. Share about the company trip. All of these things, right? They just build attention. Lifestyle. Share about your lifestyle. Guys, people are stuck in a cubicle right now, working 9 to 6, probably on social media, even though they shouldn't be during work. And they see you, well, even the gym at 9:30 in the morning and going and hitting the field. They're gonna be like, what? How are they doing that? Right? They see you taking your kids to Disneyland or on a trip or whatever it is. So post about your lifestyle. It's going to attract people like you. All right, let's talk about job boards. Guys, job boards, like think about recruiting, right? What's the number one way that companies recruit? They post an actual job. You can get an account on ZipRecruiter. I think it's like $500 a month. Post a ton of jobs. Guys, you're going to get candidates flowing in like crazy. You're going to do a lot of interviews, right? Like you might have to talk to 10 people to hire one, but that's one agent that you didn't have. You do that. Let's say you only did one a month, which would be low, right? You'd probably be doing more than that, but let's say you only did one a month. At the end of the year, that's 12 agents. 12 full-time agents is $1 million team. Crazy, right? It's crazy how the small activity compounds over time. So job posts, guys, you might be thinking, hey, I can't afford, I'm already buying my leads. I can't afford to run job posts to recruit. You can't afford not to. Okay. This, for every agent that says that, my question to you would be, in 12 months, do you want to be in the same exact spot that you are right now? And if you say no, then stop pinching pennies, right? Get you an account on ZipRecruiter, post an ad, start interviewing people, get the momentum going, right? Just put the activity into it. All right. You're going to find that people will reply. Chances are a lot of you watching this got into this industry from a job ad. If you're wanting to build a team, why would you not be the one running the job ad, right? So Indeed, ZipRecruiter, I don't have a favorite. I just say pick one and run with it, right? Referrals. Guys, so many people know people who are looking for a new opportunity. Every single day, you guys are sitting down and talking to clients on the phone. What's it going to hurt if you said, hey, Miss Betty, look, I'm actually hiring for my team. Do you know anybody like grandkids, kids maybe that are looking for a new opportunity? Guys, that literally could lead you to a ton of agents. They could be like, yeah, my grandson works 2 jobs. He's got a little daughter. He's trying his best to make it for him. I'm sure he'd love to talk to you. Boom. There's your top agent, right? Just by asking for referrals. All of your warm market friends, maybe the people you grew up with. Hey, do you know anybody that's looking for a new opportunity? Just start the conversation, okay? And lastly, info events, webinars. Guys, social media is so cool. I kind of classify this as like a webinar, right? But what if you made a 30-second Facebook reel talking about the industry, talking about how you got into it, talking about what you were doing before and how it's changed your life? What if you did that on Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, whatever you use, Instagram, and you get 1,000 views and 10 people reach out to you? Guys, just post information, right? You can do job fairs, different things like that. Most of them are virtual now, but there's an unlimited amount of resources and opportunities for you to find top talent. And guys, check it out. Your best agent may be watching your Facebook story every day. And so just think about that. They might just be waiting. They might just be watching you, stalking you a little bit. So that's where you find top talent. And you have to put the activity in to doing it if you want to build a team, right? Your team's not going to build itself. All right. And then the last one here, guys, is onboarding and mentorship. So it's one thing, right, for you to create the momentum, do the interviewing, get the candidates, get them in pre-licensing, get them licensed. But that's just the first part. The second part is actually getting them going, getting them writing. All right. I put on here a fast start equals long-term success. So what's your onboarding plan? How are you going to train them? Okay. Training is everything, guys. The first 14 days of a new agent's career shapes their entire future. Okay. If they don't do good the first 14 days, they probably won't make it. So think about that. Daily, weekly check-ins, coaching calls. You're putting a lot on your shoulders to build a sales team, but I promise you it's worth it. It's worth it if you're ready to take your career to the next level. All right, guys, this is how you compound your growth. This is how you go from, maybe it's just you right now. You're doing $150,000 to $200,000 a year. If you focus on what we talked about today, every single day, every single week for the next 12 months, your team might be doing 1.2 million next year. And it happens like that. All right. It happens so quick once you start doing this stuff. Okay. What do I mean by happens quick? It's like a blink of an eye, right? Like, what if you woke up 12 months from now? A year is not a long time. And you have a team doing $2 million a year just because you started focusing on building your sales team. Okay. You're not going to notice it overnight. You're not going to make one Facebook post and tomorrow you've got 15 agents working with you, right? It's not how this works. But small activity over time compounds. And before you know it, in 2 years, you wake up and you're like, wow, can't believe how big my team's gotten. So onboarding and mentorship's huge. But guys, that's all I got for you. We talk a lot about selling. We talk a lot about closing, talk a lot about the products. But I really wanted to dive into how do you actually build a team? All right. And if for those of you that are brave, that have some courage, that are ready to go, lights just shut off, I'll be in the office. There's never been a better time to build an insurance team, a sales force. It's what's going to keep you going. It's what's going to keep your business going. So let's run hard today. Appreciate you guys. You are all dominating it so far this week. We will be back here on Friday.